Hi there. If you are in your 20s or 30s, wake up now. Yes, wake up now because you are sitting on a gold mine. You are in an age bracket which is very amazing, the age bracket which you can utilize to become rich, the age bracket which you can utilize to build generational wealth, the age bracket which you can utilize to course correct any errors you might have made in life. Because once you hit 40s, 50s, 60s, you are approaching your sunset years. And that is not me saying, science says so. We have average lifespans out there for different countries. That is why in your 20s and 30s, those are the gold age which you are living in. And that's why in this video, I want to share with you 10 pointers on how you can wake up in your 20s and 30s. You are all much welcome to my channel. In case you are new here, my name is Afagza Sifuna. I am an expert in finance and a qualified accountant. I'm out here bringing you amazing videos each and every day on investing, making money. In case you like those kind of topics, kindly consider subscribing to this channel. Down there is a button called subscribe. Click that button, subscribe, for you not to miss any of my future videos. And I'll still add it, drop a like on this video. Thank you for subscribing and also liking this video. And with that, let's jump right in. The very first thing you need to know if you're in your 20s and 30s is that time is the greatest asset. Other people think about, hey, I don't have a house. Hey, I don't have a car. Hey, I want to drive a sports car. I want to do this and this. All those are amazing things. But then again, the biggest asset any person has in this world is time. And that is why an adult in their 20s and 30s have ample time ahead of them. Time to achieve great things. Time to contribute positively to this world. And for their own fortune, time to start investing early so that they can enjoy the benefit of compounding. Compounding works on a given time horizon. If someone starts investing in their 70s, they can't compare with their peer who began investing in their 20s, even if their peer began investing with small amounts of money. In those number of years, their peers' wealth will be way, way ahead of them, even if they try to catch up, okay? And then, the second thing which you need to observe when you are in your 20s and 30s, invest in skills, high-paying skills, before you invest in luxuries. Why am I saying so? When you are in your 20s is when you begin making money, okay? Of course, I'm not saying people out there are not making life-changing money. There are some billionaires in 20s, but chances are people become billionaires and millionaires as they're approaching 40s, 50s, you name it. That's because their investments are compounding. So, in your formative years, focus on investing in skills which are valuable, because it is these skills which are going to enable you be able to build wealth. And right now we're talking about, for example, you investing in understanding technology, understanding AI, investing in knowing how to sell, investing in knowing how to negotiate. Those are high value skills which you could look to jump onto for you to be able to fast track your ability to make or even increase your income and in the process become rich. Don't invest in you buying luxury things, because unfortunately, you gotta be, for example, working on a given salary, you are buying luxury things and you are locking resources which you'd rather have been using to level up. And then the third tip for you is avoid lifestyle inflation by all means, because lifestyle inflation is a big eroder of wealth. What do I mean? Lifestyle inflation is basically where at every time you are seeing your expenses running high and high. Case in point, you might have started working at the age of 20. Maybe at the age of 25, you get your first promotion at work. Maybe your salary increases by 40%. It won't be wise for you to move houses to a house whose rent is double, for you to change your fashion to buy more expensive clothes, for you to get a vehicle on loan which you are struggling to pay. Those are examples of lifestyle inflation. Basically, you are inflating your lifestyle, and that is gonna eat into your ability to invest. And yet, the biggest upside is in investing. If you are locking money on lifestyle inflation, you are not saving. I mean, at the end, it's going to become difficult, okay? And then the fourth tip for you, if you are in your 20s and 30s, is by all means, create multiple sources of income. And this is important for two folds. The first reason is because multiple sources of income are going to give you security. In case, even for example, your boss wakes up and fires you, you won't care much because you have other incomes. Maybe your salary was only contributing 20% or 30% of your incomes. You won't really struggle much. You'll continue your life normally because you have alternative incomes. And secondly, that is the only way you can be able to skyrocket your journey towards financial freedom in case you create multiple sources of income. Of course, I've said, as one of the points here, you need to focus on building your skills because building your skills are going to assist you be able to create alternative income. People only create income based on what they know. You can't create income based on what you have no idea about. That is gambling. You only create sustainable income, slow and sure, based on what you know. So focus on creating sustainable income and multiple sources of income. And then the fifth tip for you is that build an emergency fund. In this life, things happen, okay? You could get into an accident, maybe you need money for repair, maybe you lose your job. Do you have, for example, 3 to 6 months worth of your subsistence costs? Or in case you lose your job today, you're going to start struggling next week. If you're going to start struggling next week, it means you haven't built an emergency fund. Build an emergency fund for you to be okay. Because you're going to need an emergency fund because we can't run away from eventualities in this life. Things happen not because you're bad people, because they sometimes happen based on probability. And chances are for any adult out there, things have happened to them at any point in their life. So prepare for those, not because you are betting on the negatives, but just because it is a reality. And then the sixth tip for you, which is also important when you are in your 20s and your 30s, choose your circle wisely. In case you have bad influence within your circle, that is going to erode your ability to grow and build wealth. If you have people who are your accountability partner, they are focused on building wealth, chances are you're going to be sharing ambitions and you're going to move in the right direction when it comes to building wealth and also you being okay over time. And then the seventh tip for you is that take your health seriously. Health is one of the biggest assets a human being can have. In your 20s, start investing in your health. What you eat, how you exercise, all these, how you sleep, play a key role as your age continues advancing. If you're investing poorly in your health in your 20s, the same way like stock market, the dividends are going to be poor health as you continue aging. That is why in your 20s and 30s, take your health seriously so that when you hit those fragile ages, 50, 60, 70, 80, you are enjoying dividends of taking care of your health way early, as opposed to you being reactive and chasing your health in your later years. Okay? And then guys, the other tip for you when you are in your 20s and 30s, which is essential for you to be able to be okay, and this is the eighth tip, is that in your 20s and 30s, you need to learn to invest consistently. Investment is very important because it is through investment that we can be able to grow our wealth. There's no other way. You won't be able to grow your wealth through gambling. No, you can only grow your wealth through investing. Purpose to invest, whichever technique you use out there. If you have a standing cadence of maybe pushing 10K every month an investment, you do that. Because running away from investment is gonna mean you need to work actively each and every day of your life without you losing your job for you to even take care of your basics, which is not something that's sustainable. That is why you need to start investing. And then the ninth tip for you is that take calculated risks. But then again also, part of risk calculation in your 20s and 30s is that is when you have room, more so in your 20s, to take on high risks. And I'm saying so because even when it comes to investing, you are better off investing in high growth companies or new companies in your 20s because whatever happens, in case there's an upside, fair enough, you're going to build a fortune. In case you lose your money, fair enough, you still have very many years ahead of you for you to recover and make more money. These are gambles which a person can take in their 50s, maybe gambling on new or growth companies. They're going to be looking at mature companies which maybe have low upside on share price appreciation. That is why in your 20s, you need to calculate your risk, but also take some of the risk which you've calculated and seen they could have an upside for you because you have energy, you are making some money, and you have a lot of time ahead of you to even recover in case you do slop a bit, okay? And then the 10th tip for you in your 20s and 30s is design your life intentionally. If you don't design your life, the world is going to shape your life and it's going to push you to whichever direction. That is why you need to define your life intentionally. What goals do you have? What do you want in your life? What is quality living in your life? Which values do you hold dearly? If you don't define all this, bad company is going to define for you. Guys, those are 10 tips which you need to consider and abide to in your 20s and 30s for you to be able to lead healthy life, both financially and also healthy life as a human being. What do you think about these tips? Comment down below. Let's continue discussing. Cheers, guys, and you all stay safe.